If you want to understand Brexit and what happened last night, Britain's relationship with the EU, the whole thing, stop. Don't think about that stuff. It's not really about that. This is a global phenomenon. This is a revolt against technocracy and elites telling everybody else what to do. At the end of the day, for the past 20 years, 80% of the people have been told 80% of the time by the top 20% what to do, what to think, and what's good for them. Guess what? They've figured it out. The 20% needs to listen, because if they don't, they're going to find something out. The Hamptons is not a defensible position.
So, one of the things that is actually very dangerous, and by the way, welcome to Black History Month 2021, is how a lot of Black law enforcement officers have to live in kind of this world where they are for law enforcement and shit like that. And it causes issues with, like, when you see police brutality and when you see the injustice, like, it causes issues with some people that just, quite frankly, get tired of the bullshit. And I know it was mentioned in Dave Chappelle's stand-up comedy, 826, or I forget what it was, the exact number, but when you talk about the guy, like, they try to associate with Black Lives Matter, the one that was kicked out, the who was sniping cops in Houston, who they actually delivered a robot bomb to and killed them that way. He was in the armed forces. When you talk about the cop that was in there was a California cop that was going around murdering other cops after he was fired for talking about police brutality, he was also in the armed forces. But I think we need to actually do something about when it comes to just like I'm not saying that Black people can't be in law enforcement or the military, but that shit does something to you. Like, not everybody is a fucking Officer Tatum. Not everybody is. And where they do the whole, again, pick me, that's the other secret word of the day. But, like, sometimes that shit just did not sit well on anybody's whole thing. And so we're talking about this guy. I saw it pop up in my news feed. So let's just actually look at this. Let's go.
I've had enough of all of this nonsense of serving a system that does not give a damn about me or people like me. This killing that's going on, especially by the police, which I am. I can't abide by this no more. I'm not having anything to do with this nonsense anymore.
So, Deputy Clyde Kerr III served as a Louisiana Sheriff's Department for over 5 years. The Black officer had a difficult talk with his teenage son. During the national reckoning of racial injustice in the summer of 2020. He reportedly considered resigning. Now, this is where, and I'm sorry this took such a fucking dark turn of what happened with this gentleman. So, when you hear the term ACAB, all cops are bastards, where there are cops where it's just like, yes, they have this power fantasy and they feel like, oh, fuck, yeah, like, let's put the boot on poor people's neck. But then you have cops like this where it's just like, like I fucking get it. And I remember it was a TYT contributor who was like, "Yo, I can't be a cop after some of the shit that I saw." It's like you see these injustices, and at this point, like you have to be like, "Fuck!" Like I can't, I can't. They say that one bad apple ruins the whole bunch, and like you hear, "Oh, it's just a couple of bad apples," but when you hear about police brutality, you never hear about the rest of that fucking phrase. We have, and we see it like, it's a channel that I watch, That Dang Dad, where he talks about like some of the shit that they ask you to do as a police officer. Like, fuck, it's dehumanizing these people. It's dehumanizing these people that you think that you're fucking supposed to serve. And I'm glad to see when officers actually see this injustice and say, like, yo, I can't do it anymore. I'm fucking glad about it. And this is what people mean by all cops are bastards. Not because they are literally bastards where their parents aren't married, like literal bullshit. Or that they're all just some kind of bad, like, street gang that just has more legitimacy than other street gangs. No, it's when they see shit that are having a fucking issue and affecting people in a negative way, and they start to see humanity in the people that they're starting to serve. If you can't see the humanity in people when they're trying that you're supposed to be serving and protecting, then you're part of that bad system. You're part of those bad apples. But let's continue.
You have no idea how hard it is to put a uniform on in this day and age with everything that's going on. Floyd? Man. Brianna? This right. I'm telling you that if this feels right to you as a person, then something is wrong with you. This is the furthest thing from right. I'm not doing it anymore. Loved my job. Loved it. Loved every aspect of it. Finally found something I could call my own and made it my own. And but this is bigger than that. And I'm not gonna do that. There's no way I can just be like, oh, okay, it's no big deal. No, this is a very big deal to me. This is a tipping point. And just to continue to think that we can just do what we've been doing and just hit the status quo like that, and people, no whatsoever. This is wrong. It needs to be resisted against, and you have an obligation and a duty to do that. Because if not, you're complacent. I would be complacent if I continue just doing what I am doing and not saying anything. I've tried to bring things to people's attention, little small things, but it's a system, and I'm a small cog in this whole big machine. But I can tell you this: there's more good people than bad. Y'all need to figure that out real quick, because it's the truth. It is the absolute truth. And if y'all ain't got each other's back, then you're going to continue to divide and conquer and just sow dissension and everything between people who actually probably make it be a good ally.
So this is this is some of the shit that black people have to face, like in the country that we live in, especially when you are not just cops, where you have to deal with enforcing a system that you may feel somewhat unjust. And it sounds like Officer Kerr was like really struggling with this, as we read about it, that his he had to, like, he was stuck when he had to explain to his child, like his teenage son, where it's just like, yo, it's just like I I I, I couldn't imagine being in a position where I'm a police officer and I have to explain, like, people who do the same job that I had to are just shit people. It's hard enough that black people have to explain that they have to tell their children that no matter how young they are, they always seen as a perceived threat. I made a comment early in the stream about Tamir Rice. Or like you see like the guy, and I forget his name. He was in, Walmart, where they just came and gunned him down. Like these are conversations that black people have to have with their children, not just their sons, but their daughters as well, because a perceived threat. And to be part of that system that you have to tell people to watch out for other people that are doing the job that you ostensibly do yourself. Fuck. It reminds me of that one Family Matters episode where Eddie was stopped by a racist ass cop, and Carl just couldn't like how like no, cops are good, and it's just like, dude, we have fucking proof. But let's continue. Kerr urged more transparency in mental health checks. And proposed police establishment. Wait. Let's go back just a little bit. And proposed police establish civilian oversight committees. So he proposed, like, yeah, we need to have more mental health checks because some of these guys are being affected by the job that they're seeing, that they're dehumanizing people. This is my assumption, not exactly what he's saying. But this is what we see. Also, Civilian Oversight Committee. Now, they have that in Chicago, and that's actually given us some, like you see with little Laquan McDonald situation where that was, it was pushed by the police oversight board, the civilian police oversight board. So it helps. It's not a perfect solution, but it does help. But let's continue.
This is not protesting against police brutality and everything else that comes along with it in this broken, wicked, worldly system that does not give a damn about people. I don't know what it cares about, but it don't care about us. It truly don't. It does not. It does not. So I hope y'all do something with that.
All right, so let's stop right there. And we're actually going to just deal with this right now. So that's fucking. And you actually see that he took his own life. And that's actually that thing that actually happened. He took his own life because I guess he had enough. That cognitive dissonance, God, that can fuck with you. And quite frankly, I don't know what to say. I don't think people realize how much and how painful this whole attitude in the country can actually be. Because what it does is it sets up this whole idea of, and I know I made mention of it before, where it's, we need to fucking change this system. I am literally going through financial issues because the job that I had changed my status, and I blame myself for not being able to keep up with the shit that I need to keep up with. Maybe I'm not working hard enough, but fuck, I'm working 44 hours a week. I'm working 50 hours, 45 hours a week. What do I need to work? 50, 60? People are, I get it. Certain things we need to do to fucking survive. But, like, I can't only imagine how tough and how hard it would be to actually see these injustices and actually have, like, yo, we need to fix this shit. We need to fix this shit. We need to fix this shit. I'm part of the system. We need to fix this shit. And it's just like, no, it works. The system is working as it's designed. I fuck it. I'm not a proponent of healthy people um, choosing to end their life over, you know, over a lot of shit. Um, Granted, I believe that you have the autonomy to um, choose to shuffle off this mortal coil, but some shit like that, off of like this, isn't a felon of Officer Kerr. This isn't. This is a failure of the fact that we have a system that is constantly destroying the lives of so many people, mostly black and brown people, but white people as well. And we need to fucking fix that. So, I'm going to ask you guys, if you haven't done so, please like and subscribe. And if you can, hit that notification bell and help support the channel. You can check down in the description my links of supporting the channel, or type it at the top because I have it on the top now. Thank you.